So hello and welcome to another video, and before we get started I just want to say that obviously we've found ourselves in a completely crazy situation. Virtually everyone in the world is going to be affected in some way by COVID-19, and it goes without saying that we're all in an incredibly difficult situation, and my heart goes out to anyone that's been affected either physically themselves or had family members physically affected. And also a huge thank you to all those people doing what they can to look after us and keep us going. So it is a completely bizarre situation that we're in at the moment, but hopefully if we all stick together, we'll get through it. So I hope you all stay safe. Now, going into the video today, while we're all stuck at home, I know it's incredibly challenging for a number of reasons. And one of those is if you're in a situation like me where you're freelance, all of my work has dried up, I've found myself with very little to actually do, and obviously all the concerns over money worries and other things, but it's also incredibly difficult to keep yourself motivated. And with photography, videography and all of those kind of creative fields, we all like to be doing things, we all like to be building things and keeping ourselves kind of going and having something to focus on. So I just thought it would be useful to go through a few ideas of things that you can be doing at home just to keep yourself on track in what is obviously an incredibly challenging time. So let's get into it. So here's just a quick roundup of a few ideas that I think will keep people going while they are at home. And number one is literally just to take a bit of a break. I know it sounds counterintuitive when you're trying to be productive and trying to keep things going, but the big thing with this current situation is we've never been in it before. Hopefully we're never in this kind of situation again, and that poses a lot of challenges. It can challenge people's mental health, it can challenge how they approach their work and things, and I think it's fair to say that we all just need to take a minute, calm down and take a look at what's going on around us and use that time to work out what's genuinely important to us, what isn't so important, and what we need to focus on when hopefully we get through the other side of this and we get stuck back into what we do best. And number two, and one of the kind of more fun things to do, is just to do a little bit of an audit of all the gear and things that you have. Now, if you're anything like me, I've got a handful of cameras and things, and I only use a small selection of those. So one of the things that I'll be doing, possibly to supplement my income, is putting a few of those on eBay and just having a sort through of what I actually use, what I haven't picked up in months, and having a little bit of a clear out. Now, it's a really useful time to do it like at a time like this, because we're not going to be rushing out to replace gear, or certainly hope we're not at the moment, purely because money could become a bit of a challenge. So it is useful to look and go, do I use this on a regular basis? Is it something I need going forwards? And does it need to be replaced? So having a bit of an audit, clearing out what we don't need, and hopefully making a little bit of money out of those bits that we just don't use on a regular basis. So third up, and in a similar kind of vein, is to have a little bit of an audit of your current work. So I've been going back through my Lightroom catalogue, looking at some old pictures and doing some re-edits and throwing them up on Instagram. And I'll leave a link to my Instagram feed, and obviously I'd always appreciate you going and checking that out and hopefully giving me a follow. But one of the things that I've been doing to stay safe, rather than going out and trying to capture new images, I've been going back through my back catalogue and re-editing some of those and posting them to Instagram. And I think that's one of the good things that we can all do where we don't have to leave the house. So number four is to take a look at your social media feeds and your website. Now, I've just updated my website, I've given it a little bit of a refresh. Still plenty of work to do on it, but now's a perfect opportunity to do things like that, where we're not necessarily worried about customers coming to the site and things like that, because nobody is at the moment. So it's a great time to have a little refresh. But if you don't have a website and you just have a social media feed, it can be useful to go back through, get rid of some of your old work that you're not so happy with, and just have a little bit of a refresh about what's actually kind of customer facing out there and see how you're representing yourself. So now's a great time to have a look at those kind of things and have a change up. And fifth up is to practice a new skill. Now, to be honest, I've going through the process of teaching myself film photography at the moment. Say teaching myself, it is something that I've done in the past, but what I've actually done is taught myself a little bit of home developing, home scanning, and I will create a separate video on all of these going forwards, just in case you're interested in the process. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity to take a bit of time to invest in myself, learn a bit of a new skill, and hopefully come out of the other side of this with something positive to show from it as well. Now, number 6, if you're not running a business or anything like that, that's perfectly fine. There's still loads that you can do to keep yourself entertained. And one of those things is to set yourself daily photography or video challenges. Now, one of the things that I've seen quite a few people do is to create interesting portraits of themselves around the house, or maybe you'll set a certain theme. I know that plenty of the larger brands like Canon have been setting daily challenges for people on their social media feeds, and it's really interesting to see what some people have done. So maybe trying food photography or getting creative with water and things like that, and just trying something different. So trying to teach yourself maybe macro photography or something slightly different, but obviously it goes without saying all of those things keeping within the house. And number 7, again, it almost sounds like a little bit of a cliche, but I've been soaking up books and YouTube videos and just learning lots of different things about photography and videography, but from sources that I wouldn't normally have the time to sit down and go through. So I've read quite a few books already in the last few weeks, and I will be going through others in the future, and it's just nice to invest a little bit of time in yourself, have a look around at some interesting things. Again, I find myself going down the YouTube hole and just watching video after video. But now's a great time, while there's no particular pressure in terms of turning around client work and things, to invest that time in yourself. And for number 8, this is squared firmly at the creatives amongst us that need to be producing things on a regular basis. And one of those cool things that you could be doing now is either starting a podcast, or if you already do a podcast, developing your podcasting skills, or maybe if it's one of the dreams that you've always had to start a YouTube channel, maybe giving that a go at a time like this. There's lots of people consuming content at the moment. Obviously we're all indoors, we can't go outside, so now's a great opportunity to kind of test the water and get into that kind of realm. And the beauty of that is you don't need to leave your house to do that. You can sit in a room and produce short videos or podcasts, and it's just a great opportunity to try one of those things that you may well have put off in the past, and now's the time to actually give it a go and see how you got on with it. So good luck with that one as well. And number 9, again, sounds like a little bit of a cop-out, but for those of us that suffer with creative block and this constant pressure to kind of produce things, just take a little bit of time to yourself, have a little bit of time off social media. At the moment, it feels like we're not going to miss out on too much because there's not many people going out doing very interesting things. Clients aren't really looking for creatives at the moment because we can't go out and do anything for them anyway. So it is always a good time to take a step back from social media. It can get a little bit on top at times, and this need to create things all the time. It sounds a bit contradictory to trying to create things while you're at home, but if you're that way inclined and you need a little break from it, there's a great opportunity just to have a little bit of a relax and not feel too much pressure with constantly having to create. And number 10, and absolutely the most important thing on this list, is just to stick to whatever rules are going on in your country or your region. There's lots of us that are in lockdown, and it can be very tempting to go out there and take empty street shots and things like that and be really creative with what's going on. And it is one of those times that needs documenting. I absolutely understand that, but it's not worth risking your own health or the health of others, or putting additional pressure on all of the people working in the medical environment that are trying to do what they can to help us, just to go out and get a photo. It really isn't worth chancing that. So absolutely staying safe, abiding by whatever your government or whoever is telling you to do, and hopefully the sooner we can all get through this, the sooner we can get back to doing what we do best. So staying safe is absolutely paramount. So I hope you found this useful. Like I say, it's just a very quick video, just because I know that we're all in the same boat, we're all feeling a little bit of frustration, but it just goes to prove that this time can actually be constructive. We know that there's a hell of a lot of bad things going on out there, and I am incredibly sorry if that is impacting you severely, but we are all in this together. We've all got to get through it together, and hopefully we can all come out the other side of this a little bit stronger. And as long as we all come through it safely, that is the absolute priority. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you look forward to more videos. Feel free to mention some other ideas in the comments below if there's things that you're doing at home that other people might find useful. And if it is your first time here, obviously consider subscribing, and a thumbs up is always appreciated. So take care of yourselves, and hopefully I'll catch you soon.